Welcome to another deep dive. This is where we take just a stack of incredible sources and really distill them down into actionable insights just for you. And today we're tackling a topic that honestly feels more relevant than ever. It's how to cultivate an unshakable inner core, especially in a world that, well, often feels chaotic, unpredictable, and sometimes, yeah, entirely out of our control. We've gathered a pretty fascinating array of materials for this exploration. We're talking deep psychological insights, ancient wisdom traditions, and then modern takes on personal success, how to navigate relationships, and even, the unique challenges facing individuals in today's digital age. Our mission, really, if you choose to accept it, is to uncover a profound truth. It's often surprising, which is that frequently our biggest limitations aren't actually imposed by external circumstances. They're internal. And we'll be diving deep into how shifting that perspective, that fundamental view, can unlock incredible power and resilience. That's regardless of who you are, where you come from, or what stage of life you're in. This isn't about ignoring what's happening outside, not at all. It's about mastering your response to it.
Exactly. And what's truly fascinating here is that while so many people understandably feel overwhelmed by all these pressures, from the outside world, whether it's economic shifts, societal expectations, tech disruptions, these diverse sources, they consistently point back to the profound, really transformative impact of internal agency, of your own power. So we're going to connect the dots. We'll look at personal resilience, strategic thinking, and like all aspects of life, and even the often underestimated power of community.
Yeah.
We'll show you how these elements, which might seem separate, actually combine to build a truly robust, adaptable, and unshakable self. Which raises a really important question right at the start for all of us, doesn't it? What if the most effective path to an unshakable life isn't really about trying to control the world around you, but rather about diligently mastering the world within you?
Exactly. Such an empowering reframe. Okay, let's unpack this. Let's dive into how you can begin that journey, how you can become that unshakable force starting today. So, we often find ourselves looking at external things, our past experiences, maybe our current struggles, even the societal expectations that just weigh on us. And we kind of let them define us, right? We let our history or our challenges dictate who we are now and maybe even what we think is possible for the future. But our first set of insights really pushes back on that whole idea powerfully, suggesting that true, enduring power doesn't come from outside validation or circumstances. It comes from within, from a profound internal understanding and a conscious, deliberate transformation of yourself.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, like human experience, many of us are, maybe without realizing it, trapped in the cycle of rehearsing our regrets. We keep rerunning past mistakes, failures, missed opportunities in our heads. It's almost like this mental replay is a form of self-punishment, or maybe a way to stay safe by dwelling on what's known, even if it's painful. These sources, though, they offer a radical counter-narrative. They suggest that true growth, genuine evolution, the capacity for real change, it's not something you earn or get granted. It is, in fact, our inherent birthright. It's already yours. It's not about being stuck in the story of what was, but about maybe courageously embracing the potential of what can be.
And here's where it gets really, really transformative. A concept that can just shift your entire inner landscape. It's this profound idea. You are not your past, you are your potential. Just imagine internalizing that truth so deeply that you start speaking life over yourself every single morning. Picture waking up, looking in the mirror, and actually declaring, I am not my past. I am my potential.
Fascinating.
Think about the sheer quiet power in that daily declaration. The way it could fundamentally reframe your whole day, your interactions, your sense of what's possible.
Oh, absolutely. And this concept, when you really embrace it, it cuts through every insidious lie of inadequacy. It silences every nagging whisper of shame, drowns out every judgment that might have told you, maybe for years, that you're somehow not enough or fundamentally flawed. The remarkable truth, and we see this in countless examples, right? Throughout history, modern life, many of the most resilient, most powerful individuals today, they were once buried in deep brokenness. But their journey wasn't about staying there. They realized, often through immense struggle, that their pain wasn't a punishment. It wasn't a permanent sentence. Instead, it was preparation. It was the raw material, the crucible, for something much greater to emerge. So your past, therefore, becomes not some concrete ceiling limiting how high you can go, but fertile soil. It's the ground from which something so deep, so resilient can grow within you that when people look at you, they don't just see where you've been. They instinctively feel where you're going. And crucially, if other people still try to define you by who you used to be, you have to remember, with absolute certainty, that's their limitation. It's rooted in their perception, not yours. You don't have to carry that. Your power lies intrinsically in your potential, in your capacity to evolve, not just in your history. And understanding that liberates you. It lets you stop explaining and start elevating.
Yeah.
You are possibility personified, not just a historical record. So breathe that in, dare to live like it every day.
That's incredibly liberating. Wow. Like a permission slip to just evolve. It's so easy to get stuck chasing perfection, isn't it? We all do it sometimes, and our sources are pretty clear on this. They call perfection a myth, an illusion. We just exhaust ourselves trying to achieve this impossible static standard that always seems just out of reach. So instead, we're urged to choose progress over perfection. And that feels like a much more sustainable, compassionate, and ultimately, effective path.
You've hit on a crucial distinction there. Perfection is inherently stagnant, right? It's this paralyzing state. It's perpetually waiting for all conditions to be absolutely ideal, waiting for every fear to be quieted, for every flaw to magically disappear. It's an endless wait for a moment that, let's be honest, will never arrive. Progress, though. Progress embraces imperfection. It acknowledges the inherent messiness of growth. It moves forward anyway, with shaky hands and a hopeful heart. That's a quote from one source. It firmly believes the journey won't be flawless, there will be stumbles, setbacks, but it passionately believes the journey is still profoundly worth it. And this reframe, it means showing up. Showing up for yourself, for your goals, even when you feel completely unready. It means speaking your truth, even when your voice shakes with uncertainty. Taking action, even when every fiber of your being screams, wait for a better moment. It's the consistent, sometimes messy effort that transforms you, not the elusive, flawless performance.
Right. And this idea of choosing consistent progress over, elusive perfection, it extends powerfully to protecting your most vital inner resources. We often, maybe unconsciously, drain ourselves dry trying to impress others or conform to external expectations. We're just constantly being on and available for everyone else, leaving, nothing for ourselves.
Precisely. And this is about establishing a kind of inner economy. It's about self-care and strategic energy management, protecting your mornings, rigorously guarding your personal routines, being profoundly mindful of who has your ear, who gets your time. These aren't selfish acts. They are critical acts of self-preservation and empowerment. You have to learn to treat your energy as, and I quote, a sacred force, your joy as a priceless treasure, your peace as spiritual oxygen. You need to understand that the fundamental quality of your life is directly tied to the quality and, importantly, the allocation of your energy. Therefore, if anything robs your peace, steals your clarity, or confuses your spirit, it's simply too expensive. It's too expensive for your well-being and must be let go immediately. No negotiation. This includes establishing firm boundaries against those people-pleasing tendencies many of us have, consciously choosing rest over the relentless pursuit of burnout, and cutting off low-vibration habits that deplete you instead of elevating you. This is your time to reserve your energy for things that genuinely build you up, challenge you healthily, heal you, inspire you towards your purpose. Anything less is like a leak in your power, and your power is not something to be wasted. When your energy is diligently guarded, wisely directed, your core purpose truly becomes unstoppable.
That concept of protecting your energy, it brings to mind malice or laziness, which one of our sources argues isn't a moral failing at all, which is how we usually think of it, right? But rather, it's a profound signal that your current system, the way you're operating, just isn't working for you. That's a radical reframe. It shifts blame from personal character to systemic design.
It is a crucial reframe indeed, and it offers immense relief and clarity for so many people. Malice, which in Indonesian can mean laziness or a lack of desire, often means you're trying to live by someone else's rhythm, someone else's standards, maybe someone else's definition of success. And your body, your soul, they're simply resisting. They're trying to tell you this path isn't aligned with who you are. True consistency, the kind that lasts and really moves you forward, doesn't come from sheer motivation alone. Motivation, it ebbs and flows. It stems from a consciously built, self-sustaining life system, one that's deeply tailored to your unique needs, your specific capacity, your authentic character. This custom-built system, rather than some external set of demands, allows you to operate from a place of genuine alignment. Right. It helps you embody that beautiful philosophy mentioned in the source. Tidak tergesa-gesa tapi konsisten, tidak pamer tapi berkualitas, tidak panik tapi perkaya pada proses, which, as you mentioned, roughly translates to not rushed but consistent, not showing off but high quality, not panicking but trusting the process. It's about sustainable self-management, about inner trust, not temporary bursts of effort driven by external pressure or comparison. It's about building a life where your actions feel like a natural extension of who you are, rather than some kind of forced performance.
This next insight is profoundly liberating, almost revolutionary, I think. Everything I need is already within me. Just sit with that for a second. Think about how much time and energy we collectively spend seeking external validation. seeking confidence in external achievements, searching for purpose in what others tell us, chasing peace in external circumstances. Genuinely believing these essential qualities exist outside ourselves and have to be acquired from somewhere or someone else.
But the truth, the core truth, the one we often run from because it demands real introspection, is that the strength you seek is already in your bones. The clarity you crave, that insight you've been searching for, it's buried under the noise that you allow into your life every day. And the courage you pray for, the bravery to take that next step, it's already in you. This profound realization, though, it requires deep, often uncomfortable internal work. It's not passive. It's a conscious decision to lead a life led by design, not default. A life where you are the architect, not just a passenger reacting to things. It means truly learning to say no without guilt when something doesn't align with your values or goals. To say yes with full conviction to what truly resonates, and to build. Quietly, consistently, even when absolutely no one is watching or applauding your efforts, your focus then becomes consistent, quiet, relentless. Your fulfillment doesn't come from fleeting external applause or social media likes or chasing the latest trends. It comes from deep internal alignment and genuine self-directed progress on your unique path. This is a journey that, while sometimes it might feel solitary, ultimately makes you unshakable, precisely because that inner purpose gives you enduring patience, and that deep grounding gives you unshakable peace.
And building on that internal discovery, that foundation, leads to this powerful essential declaration. I am worthy of love, success, and peace. Not as something to be earned through endless striving, but rather something to be accepted as an inherent truth, just by existing.
Your worth is not, and never has been, a reward to be achieved. It is inherent, full stop. It is, as one source puts it, divinely, completely without condition or exception. This isn't based on your achievements, your income, your status, or whether you've reached some mythical state of perfection. No, your very existence, simply by being here, carries intrinsic, immeasurable value. This fundamental truth, once you deeply integrate it, allows you to stop begging for external acceptance, to stop shrinking yourself to fit into others' narrow expectations, and to stop tolerating anything less than the love, success, and peace that are your absolute birthright. Instead, you begin to boldly claim them. This worthiness becomes unmovable. It's a quiet, steady knowing deep within your bones that you are always enough, always have been, always will be. It's the bedrock, the absolute foundation upon which you build your unshakable self.
Okay, and when we stumble, because let's be real, we all stumble. It's an inevitable part of any genuine journey. The process of cultivating this inner fortress absolutely requires forgiveness, specifically self-forgiveness, which is a critical, often overlooked component of actually moving forward, isn't it?
Absolutely. Forgiving yourself for past mistakes, for missed opportunities, for lingering regrets. It's not just beneficial, it's profoundly, absolutely essential. Essential to grow forward. This practice of self-compassion allows you to construct a life rooted in genuine truth and possibility. Rather than being shackled by guilt or self-punishment or the ghost of past perceived failures, the mantra for anyone on this path should really be, I am not that mistake. I am the person who survived it, who rose from it, who is rising now. Growth is your birthright. You are fundamentally allowed to evolve, to outgrow your old self, to rewrite your personal story without needing external permission, not even from your own harshest inner critics. You know, the old version of you was necessary. It provided the foundation, the lessons learned, but it is not your permanent prison. This is precisely how you truly become unstoppable. Not by never falling, because falls are inevitable, they happen, but by learning how to forgive the version of you who did fall. Allowing yourself to transcend the past, integrate its lessons, and boldly embrace who you are actively becoming moment by moment.
Okay, so being truly unshakable.
Yeah.
It isn't just about what happens inside us, right? Or how we meticulously manage our internal world. It's also profoundly about how we intelligently, powerfully, and strategically interact with the world around us. And critically, how we protect our vital personal space, our energy. This often involves the courageous act of setting clear boundaries and engaging strategically rather than just reacting to every little thing that comes our way.
Right. And this section delves into the practical, real-world application of self-respect in all our external interactions. It highlights that boundaries. They're not about aggression or building these impenetrable walls to keep everyone out. No, instead they are about clarity. They're a profound expression of self-worth and a sophisticated understanding of fundamental human dynamics. They are, in essence, clarity moves. They communicate your inherent value without needing to say very much at all. They signal without words that you are a person of substance and self-regard.
Yeah, and what's surprising insight from our sources, particularly relevant maybe for men, but with universal echoes, I think, is the idea that boundaries don't turn women off, they turn them on. Now, this isn't about manipulation or playing superficial games. It's about deep self-respect and the almost magnetic energy that comes from it. How does that work exactly?
It's quite counterintuitive for many, isn't it? But the principle is powerful. Strong, grounded, unapologetic boundaries communicate profound self-worth. When you're not always available, when you don't immediately reply to every text or drop everything when someone calls, you send a potent message not with words, but with your energetic presence. You signal, my time has value, my life is already full, and I have purpose and direction. You're stepping into any interaction from a place where your world already has its own motion, its own meaning, its own direction. That subtle tension, that slight uncertainty about where someone might fit into your already moving world, paradoxically, it becomes deeply magnetic because constant, instant availability can signal, consciously or unconsciously, I've got nothing else going on. Or maybe I'm waiting for someone else to fill my time. Scarcity creates value in human perception. It always has. When you become rarer, when you clearly prioritize your own life and mission, you become more desirable and interesting, drawing others in simply by holding clear, defined space for your own existence and priorities.
And this sense of profound self-respect also means addressing subtle disrespect directly, promptly, rather than letting it slide, which is something many of us, men and women alike, are often guilty of, in the name of being easygoing or avoiding conflict.
Oh, definitely. Disrespect, ironically, is usually not loud or overt. It's often whispered in tiny moments. It could be an eye roll when you're speaking, a sarcastic jab disguised as humor, a dismissive comment made in front of friends, a joke that cuts a little too deep. Most people, especially those who struggle with boundaries, they just brush these off. They think, oh, it's no big deal, or I don't want to make a fuss. But letting these moments go doesn't make you chill or easygoing. It makes you invisible, especially to the person doing it, because, consciously or not, they are watching how you handle it. If you don't respect yourself enough to calmly call it out, they won't respect you either. Now, the key here isn't to snap or get angry or deliver some lecture. No, it's to stay centered. Look them calmly in the eye and say, very simply, hey, I don't let people talk to me like that. It's just that simple, firm, grounded. That one clear boundary, delivered calmly, does what 1,000 polite smiles never could. It creates a subtle polarity. It shows you're a person with standards, that you honor yourself, and that being around you requires presence, awareness, and respect. And the magic often happens. When they see you respect yourself enough to speak up, they don't necessarily pull away. Instead, they often feel safer, realizing you're someone who is real, dependable, and has their own code. This often deepens respect, creates genuine connection.
Leading with courage, not comfort. That seems to be another crucial component of this. Meaning, not just responding emotionally, but really maintaining your emotional center, even when you're provoked or tested.
That's it, exactly. A person, especially in, say, dating dynamics, will often test your emotional center long before they ever truly trust your depth or consistency. Most individuals, particularly men who haven't maybe developed this skill, they fail this test quickly. When teased or challenged with a bold remark, or when someone tries to push their buttons, many become defensive, or they over-explain, get flustered, or just completely shut down. And this, unfortunately, communicates emotional fragility, a lack of inner grounding. But the person who stays centered, who hears the jab, pauses, maybe offers a slight smirk and says something calm like, that's cute. You always test guys this fast. That person just flipped the script entirely. Emotional control isn't about being cold or unfeeling. It's about being profoundly grounded in yourself, showing that you cannot be easily rattled. When someone senses they can't easily upset you, they relax into your presence. They respect you deeply, and deep down, their curiosity is intensely piqued. They wonder, what else are they unshakable about? That quiet, confident control draws them deeper into your world.
Right. And this grounding extends significantly to how we communicate our decisions and intentions. Our sources stress communicating with authority, not over-explaining your decisions, which is such a common trap, isn't it? Constantly feeling the need to justify ourselves.
Indeed, it's one of the most common communication pitfalls out there. Many people, particularly those prone to people-pleasing, they over-explain themselves constantly. They try to make everything sound nice, writing long texts just to soften a no, or talking in circles to avoid the slightest possibility of upsetting someone. But here's the critical insight. Every time you over-explain, you're not just clarifying, you're actually often asking for permission. Even if your words on the surface sound confident, the energy underneath can be uncertain, seeking validation. Real confidence is efficient, it's clear, it's economical with words, it doesn't ramble, it doesn't seek external validation, and it certainly doesn't try to cushion the truth with endless justifications. It simply acts or states its position. The profound rule here is say less, mean more. Let your clear, grounded presence do the talking. A person who can calmly state what they mean, make a decision, and then simply go silent holds far more power and commands greater respect than one who keeps trying to be understood or justified. Others don't need your elaborate explanations. They need to feel that your words come from an internal place of certainty. And when they do, you don't just win their fleeting attention, you genuinely earn their lasting respect.
Finally, there's this idea of a mission-first code, meaning your partner, or really anyone important in your life, joins your journey rather than becoming your entire world. It's about having a purpose that extends far beyond the relationship itself, a purpose that really guides your path.
This is perhaps the boundary that flips the entire dynamic in personal relationships. But its principle, yeah, it extends to all areas of life. Many individuals, even smart, ambitious ones, subtly lose themselves the moment a significant other enters their life. They inadvertently shield everything. Their long-term goals are scheduled, their core mindset, often just to keep that person happy or avoid conflict. And while initially the other person might enjoy the attention, very quickly something fundamental shifts. They might start to feel like they are your entire purpose rather than your broader vision, your growth, or your mission in the world. And when that happens, the polarity, the spark, the magnetic draw, it often begins to die. The twist is, a person doesn't actually want to be your whole world. They want to be an integral part of a world that's already moving, a life with inherent momentum, with a clear path, with a fire that burns brightly with or without them. When you have that clear, compelling mission that you diligently protect and actively pursue, you become the unwavering gravity in your own life. And others then choose to orbit around your energy and purpose. That profound shift, that's what truly separates the person someone might casually date from the person they can't stop thinking about, the person they respect and the person they desire to build a life with. It's about leading your life from the inside out, always.
Okay, shifting gears slightly, but still related. Our sources also touch on a crucial aspect of success in any arena, personal or professional, which is understanding the underlying game of reality rather than just focusing purely on merit or simply being good, being frugal. It's about being profoundly strategic in how you navigate the world, how you engage.
This might sound a bit cynical to some, but it's really about being realistic and ultimately effective. Success isn't just about being the best or the most ethical or the most hardworking. It's also about understanding human dynamics and the unwritten rules of engagement in various contexts. As one source provocatively suggests, the most ethical thing you can often do is to win. And to do that effectively, you must play the game better than the villains. Now, these villains, they're typically not cartoon characters, right? They're individuals or systems that operate on emotion, short-term gain, or reactive impulses, rather than long-term strategy. Your significant advantage comes from being strategic, from thinking several steps ahead, and from not reacting emotionally to every immediate challenge or provocation. This means consciously choosing to use your leverage in situations, even if it feels uncomfortable or maybe not nice in the moment. Signal strength and prevent being taken advantage of later on. It's about protecting your long-term position and your overall mission rather than just winning the immediate battle or feeling good right now.
So rather than always acting on instinct or just reacting, we're encouraged to overlay, 10 to 20% of, let me ponder my interpersonal communication more than the next person.
Yeah.
That sounds like a genuine superpower in what often feels like an increasingly reactive world, doesn't it?
It absolutely is a superpower. This shifts you from what our sources call tactical hell, that constant state of reacting, being pushed around by others' actions, always playing defense, to being truly strategic. It means elevating your mind above the immediate battlefield, thinking a few steps ahead, considering the long-term implications. Sometimes what might seem like the worst immediate move or the most uncomfortable action. Like the example given was a government shutdown in a political scenario framed as a strategic maneuver. Is actually the best strategic one to signal your resolve, your limits, and your strength for the long term. This demonstrates to others that you are not a pushover, that you cannot be easily manipulated, and that they must engage with you seriously with respect for your position the next time around. It's playing chess, not checkers.
And this strategic mindset also applies profoundly to relationships and just how we present ourselves. Our sources highlight several anti-seductive qualities we should be aware of. Qualities which, if left unchecked, can actively repel others and really undermine our ability to connect genuinely.
Indeed. These qualities include things like talking too much without listening, bragging excessively, constantly moralizing or preaching, being vulgar or crass, and just a general pervasive lack of self-awareness. Conversely, a truly seductive person, and we're using seductive broadly here, meaning attracting others, commanding positive attention, inspiring connection, not just romantically, is deeply self-aware, knows how to tell a compelling story, and possesses genuine, authentic charisma. People who explain everything or tend to do 95% of the talking are often described as anti-seductive. They leave no room for curiosity or engagement. A crucial element here is the importance of creating mystery, not oversharing everything too soon. This maintains interest and prevents people from taking you for granted. We see this principle in celebrity examples like Beyoncé or Michael Jackson, right? They'd famously disappear between projects, building immense anticipation, maintaining their allure. This applies to personal relationships too. You don't need to reveal every detail of your life story, every vulnerability, every opinion immediately. A bit of mystery invites deeper exploration and keeps others invested.
Okay, this next point highlights a simple yet profoundly overlooked way to unlock countless opportunities in life. Simply asking for what you want. It seems so obvious, almost too simple yet. We often just don't do it. Why is that?
It's astonishingly true, isn't it? Many opportunities are lost not because they are forbidden or unattainable or because you lack qualifications, but simply because they feel uncommon or not normal to ask for. There's this ingrained fear of judgment, the perceived humiliation of refusal, or just the simple dread of failure that prevents people from even trying. One of our sources perfectly illustrates this with a simple anecdote. A passenger on a plane after the meal service politely asked the flight attendant for extra food. The attendant, much to the passenger's surprise, readily agreed, explaining it helps prevent waste. The lesson here is profound in its simplicity. The worst that can happen is rejection, which is usually temporary, quickly forgotten by the person who said no and ultimately harmless to you. People won't know you need something, desire something, or would appreciate something until you tell them. This applies across all areas of life. Networking, getting help on projects, asking for a raise, even promoting your own endeavors. As long as your request isn't harmful, unethical, or life-threatening, there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking for what you genuinely want or need.
Right. The key takeaway then is beautifully clear. By simply asking, you instantly change the possibility of success from 0 to 50-50. It's a literal game changer. It transforms inert potential into active possibility just with one action.
Exactly. If you don't even try, if you don't make the request, the possibility of success remains a flat 0. Always. But the very moment you dare to ask, the possibility instantly jumps to 50-50. Either you succeed or you don't. And even if you face rejection, it's often just a temporary sting. The person who said no will likely forget about it quickly, and you will move on, perhaps even gaining valuable information or clarity in the process. Many opportunities that seem entirely out of reach are simply waiting for someone bold and self-aware enough to just ask. This applies everywhere. Seeking mentorship, pitching an audacious idea, asking for a specific type of coffee. Don't let the paralyzing fear of what others might think or the possibility of a no prevent you from unlocking what you truly desire or what could profoundly benefit you. Your voice, your requests hold immense untapped power. Use it.
Okay, let's pivot now to some of the specific and, often daunting challenges facing individuals today, particularly certain demographics like young men in our current society. Our sources highlight critical issues that can really erode a fundamental sense of self-worth and agency, leading to widespread feelings of purposelessness. It's serious stuff. But crucially, they also offer powerful, actionable paths forward. This section really underscores the vital idea that while external circumstances certainly exist, and they can be difficult, our internal response and our proactive steps are absolutely paramount. That's where the real power lies.
Right. This section deeply examines how societal shifts, rapid technological advancements, even cultural messaging, while certainly offering benefits and new opportunities, can also inadvertently contribute to profound feelings of purposelessness, pervasive isolation, and a deeply damaging sense of being left behind among specific demographics. It's about understanding the current landscape not to assign blame externally, that's rarely productive, but to better navigate it, to foster greater personal agency and self-reliance, regardless of the external noise.
Yeah, we're seeing alarming statistics about young men globally, rising unemployment rates for graduates, increasing suicide rates. This isn't just about external economic factors, significant as they are. It's deeply tied to a diminishing sense of personal agency, of inherent worth. a feeling of being rigged against it can be just crippling for people.
Let's look at some specifics from the sources. In Indonesia, for instance, unemployment for male graduates has been on a troubling rise. It went from 4.8% in 2022 to 5.18% in 2023. That's not just a number, it reflects a significant link and match failure, a failure between higher education and the actual needs of industry. Many graduates, particularly from some private universities, reportedly lack critical thinking skills, independent problem-solving abilities, taking up to 2 years post-graduation to even realize this crucial gap in their readiness for the modern workforce. So the solutions proposed by the sources, they emphasize individual initiative, proactivity. Developing additional, highly relevant skills like foreign languages, English, or Mandarin are cited as increasingly vital. Acquiring technical certifications in burgeoning fields like AI, modern software. There's even the social media phenomenon mentioned, kaburaji dulu, which translates roughly to just escape first. It reflects a growing trend among young people seeking opportunities abroad. Examples like scholarships to Taiwan or South Korea offer superior education and often better job prospects. The profound emphasis here is on individual, proactive steps, not waiting for the system to change. Pursuing internships, getting certifications, exploring entrepreneurship, studying abroad. These are crucial proactive steps. They don't rely on the government or external systems to fix what is fundamentally a systemic issue of adaptation. It's about owning your path, creating your own opportunities, winning your own game, even if it means moving somewhere else to do it, rather than waiting for circumstances to change for you.
Right, taking control. And beyond these economic struggles, there's a broader, deeply concerning dating and mating crisis, which is profoundly contributing to a generation of what one source describes as lonely, addicted men. This isn't just economic or academic, it's deeply human, emotional, and social. And it impacts that core sense of purpose.
The data reveals significant societal shifts. Women are increasingly out-earning men. Marriage rates are declining globally. There's a notable mating gap. For instance, while 2/3 of college-educated women might be dating, they're often dating from a smaller pool, like 1/3 of college-educated men, and women tend to date horizontally or even up in terms of status, ambition, emotional maturity. This means men need more diverse environments to demonstrate their excellence, their character, their value, beyond just traditional academic or professional settings. And the consequences for men who struggle with this are stark. If a man hasn't lived with or married someone by age 30, there's a troubling 1 in 3 chance of developing a substance abuse problem. That's huge. Male suicide rates are alarmingly high in many countries. In the US, for example, a man dies by suicide every 13 minutes, 4 times the rate of women. Common self-descriptors reported by men before suicide: useless and worthless. It points to a profound crisis of identity and purpose. Furthermore, the persistent lack of positive male role models and supportive environments can unfortunately lead to increased criminal activity for some.
Wow. That situation can understandably lead to men feeling profoundly rigged against, prompting them to maybe blame external factors like the government or the system, and making them prone to consuming and internalizing misogynistic or nationalistic content, or tragically isolating themselves altogether. The critical challenge for anyone in this position, it seems, is to shift from this external blame and feeling of victimhood to actively seeking and implementing internal solutions and reclaiming personal agency. Easier said than done, of course.
That's precisely the pivot point. The advice often given to these men, like just go to the gym or just make more money. While potentially beneficial on the surface, it doesn't really work for those who fundamentally do not know how to give love and do not know how to receive love. This is a profound emotional literacy gap. Emotional understanding is a critical first step. Roughly 1/3 of men reportedly don't possess this basic skill, leading to breakdowns in relationships and self-worth. Furthermore, the sources highlight a kind of consumer dissonance phenomenon in dating. While some women explicitly state they seek emotionally available men, their actual attraction often conflicts, still gravitating towards more traditional masculine attributes like strength, purpose, capability. This creates mixed messages and can perpetuate the crisis for men genuinely trying to adapt. The core issue isn't just about external achievements, it's about building internal capacity for genuine connections, self-worth, and proactive engagement, allowing them to lead their own lives and destinies, rather than being reactive to external societal shifts. And this applies to everyone, really. Internal work trumps external blaming every time.
Okay, let's talk technology, specifically artificial intelligence. AI presents this quintessential double-edged sword, right? It's an incredibly powerful tool, can greatly enhance productivity, creativity, but it also carries this significant risk of fostering dependence and causing the atrophy of critical human skills if we don't use it wisely.
That's a crucial observation. While AI tools like ChatGPT can certainly provide significant assistance, for example, helping students with assignments, many, and again, this is observed particularly among male students, and the sources use them as a direct substitute for critical thinking. This leads to a troubling increase in plagiarism and a demonstrable decline in fundamental writing abilities, especially the capacity for argumentation, logical coherence, nuanced expression, basic stuff. Studies in Indonesia, for instance, show alarmingly high AI usage among students, coupled with a strikingly low understanding of ethical guidelines. Many express concern about accidental plagiarism because they don't understand how the AI synthesizes information. It's just a black box to them. Compounding this, text generated by AI can often contain factual errors or what are known as hallucinations, completely fabricated information. And only a small percentage of Indonesian universities currently have official AI policies in place, leaving students largely unguided. This highlights a clear, urgent failure in digital literacy and critical engagement with these powerful tools.
Even more concerning, perhaps, is a rise of phenomena like AI girlfriends or similar virtual companions, which seems to reflect a deeper societal malaise of social isolation and a desperate search for emotional compensation through technology rather than through real, messy human interaction.
Yeah, this phenomenon is a stark indicator of growing social alienation and, frankly, an inability to form and sustain healthy interpersonal relationships. Individuals are seeking comfort and connection in one-sided and emotionally unchallenged virtual interactions, which bypass the complexities, the vulnerabilities, the growth inherent in real human bonds. It's a critical point to remember. The human body and mind are incredibly efficient. What's not used is inevitably lost. Just as physical muscles atrophy without consistent use, our brain's critical thinking skills, our capacity for empathy, our social intelligence, they decline when AI does the intellectual and emotional heavy lifting for us. AI can also subtly reinforce existing cognitive biases, making you think you're learning or getting diverse info when you're just getting back what you already believe. The real skill with AI, then, isn't just knowing how to use it, but critically knowing how to ask the right questions, which, ironically itself, requires sophisticated critical thinking, a willingness to challenge your own assumptions, and a deep understanding of the context.
And it stands to reason that this atrophy, if we let it happen, would extend directly to our ability to form and maintain healthy relationships.
Yeah.
Because communication, empathy, critical thinking,
Yeah.
they're undeniably key to healthy human interactions, aren't they?
Absolutely. It creates what one source describes as a weird dead internet kind of thing, where, at its extreme, bots end up talking to bots, the masters of lots. Imagine AI-generated resumes meeting AI filtering tools for job applications, or algorithms shaping our entire perception of reality. While it's an undeniable truth that you must leverage AI to remain competitive and relevant today, you just have to. The fundamental challenge lies in using it wisely, as a tool, to augment and enhance, not to replace core human functions, like critical thinking, genuine empathy, nuanced communication. Allowing it to substitute these essential skills will ultimately lead to a decline in our capacity for real connection, for creative problem solving, and for truly meaningful engagement with the world and with each other. The goal is to be the master of the tool, not its servant.
So, okay, given all these complexities, these challenges, what does this all mean for building genuine personal resilience, for finding an enduring sense of purpose in such a complex, rapidly changing world? How do we proactively take back our agency?
The central theme emerging from our sources is that controlling internal elements is paramount. It just is. Why? Because external factors are, more often than not, beyond our direct influence. We can't control the economy or government policies or sudden global events. We just can't. But we can absolutely control our internal response, our mindset, our actions. That's where the power is. This begins with understanding our internal chain of causality, that intricate progression where our desires, impulses, temptations truly originate. Gaining this insight allows for real, lasting change because it targets the root, not just the symptom. This involves understanding our emotions, which are often described as the money in self-understanding. They provide crucial insights. And for challenges like addiction, the strategy isn't necessarily to conquer them by brute force willpower alone, but often to wait it out. Urges, much like hunger, are cyclical. They peak, and then, crucially, they disappear if not given into. The key is to consciously keep that internal conflict going, because that very act is willpower in action. As long as you are monitoring that internal fight, aware of it, resisting, you are actively exercising your will and preventing the impulse from winning.
Right. And beyond just managing impulses, finding a deeper intrinsic sense of purpose, a why that resonates deep within you. That seems absolutely critical for overcoming persistent challenges like addiction and truly building an unshakable core.
Yes. This purpose, or dharma as it's known in Eastern traditions, it must come from within. It cannot be imposed by fleeting external desires or societal expectations or what others tell you your purpose should be. It's found by consciously evacuating external wants and through periods of silence, deep introspection. This inner why is the enduring fuel. It motivates consistent action, even when results are slow or doubt whispers or no one is watching. True success is gritty. It's not glamorous. It's built in solitude, in early mornings, through unseen, disciplined choices made consistently. Discipline, in this context, becomes your spiritual armor. It's not restrictive, as many perceive it. It's profoundly liberating. It protects your core priorities, grounds your energy in what truly matters to you, and allows you to live by design, not by impulse or default. It's about consciously shaping your life, rather than letting it be shaped by external forces.
And this powerful mindset, this focus on internal agency and purpose, it applies directly to how we define success and happiness too, doesn't it? Challenging many conventional views that emphasize external achievement above all else.
It fundamentally redefines success. You don't get self-esteem from the six-pack, right? You get it from being the kind of person that goes to the gym every day, from the consistency, the discipline, from showing up for yourself. Happiness in this framework comes not just from the outcome, the achievement, but deeply from the process itself, from the diligent, often unseen pursuit. Challenges, even what one source calls voluntary unhappiness, like choosing to do difficult things, pushing through discomfort, are crucial for building character and resilience. Imposter syndrome, surprisingly, can even be a sign of growth, a signal urging you to push further, to step into new territory your old self wasn't ready for. Adversity, rather than being something to avoid at all costs, acts as a powerful filter, revealing your true friends, sharpening your focus, strengthening your inner resolve. Learning to lose gracefully is an absolutely vital yet deeply undervalued skill. It teaches resilience and humility, the no man's land of leaving comfort for growth, that difficult phase where you've left safety but haven't reached the new thing yet. While difficult, and maybe appearing foolish to others short term, ultimately leads to significant personal transformation and lasting success. It's about trusting that process, your own inner compass.
So this entire journey then of becoming unshakable, it really is about becoming. A continuous, dynamic process of self-creation and evolution, not some fixed destination you arrive at, but a daily conscious decision.
Becoming isn't about having it all figured out. That's a common misconception that paralyzes so many people. Instead, it's about being faithful with what's in your hands right now, with the resources, skills, opportunities you possess in this very moment. It involves consciously forgiving who you were, profoundly loving who you are right now, and deeply believing in who you're constantly becoming. This involves consciously removing the masks you might wear, shedding self-imposed limitations, discarding the distractions that keep you playing small. Instead, you lean deeply into your intuition, cultivate your inherent resilience, embrace your authentic truth, and in doing so, you activate a powerful ripple effect, not just within yourself, but in everyone around you. Your genuine growth inspires others simply by embodying your own potential. Your authenticity gives others permission to breathe, be themselves. Your alignment becomes a veritable lighthouse for the lost, guiding others by your example. This messy, layered, deeply personal process. It sculpts a life of substance, meaning, profound impact, reinforcing the undeniable truth that you are already becoming your highest self right here, right now, through every choice you make.
And another powerful framework for building this self-regulating system, for those maybe inclined towards a spiritual path, is Rida Allah, or seeking God's pleasure. This provides an eternal external compass for profound internal alignment.
Yes, this concept, deeply rooted in Islamic tradition, argues that consciously making God's pleasure the central axis of your life leads to concrete, measurable transformations that directly contribute to an unshakable core, independent of worldly fluctuations. It fosters incredible daily discipline through structured prayers, teaching wise time management by honoring sacred times throughout the day. It builds profound integrity by actively avoiding sin, which in turn cleanses not only one's internal spirit, but also purifies communication, finances. It brings profound inner peace, and crucially imbues all worldly actions from your work to your relationships with eternal value and purpose. This system is not built on seeking fleeting human approval, which inevitably causes anxiety, comparison, constantly chasing external validation. No. Instead, it's built on a deeper, constant internal alignment with a higher purpose. As the source beautifully puts it, this leads to being consistent, it's a holistic, integrated system that masterfully balances the material and the spiritual, creating an inner equilibrium and deep contentment regardless of external chaos. A powerful model for anyone.
Okay, finally, let's zoom out a bit. Let's consider how this individual transformation, this diligent building of an unshakable inner core, this deep personal agency, how it can ripple outwards, fostering powerful leadership and emphasizing the crucial, often overlooked, role of teamwork and genuine community. It's clear from our sources that you can't truly achieve your highest self, nor can you make your most significant impact completely alone in a vacuum.
That's absolutely right. The notion that no one is an island, it isn't just a poetic phrase. It's a fundamental truth reaffirmed by these deep dives. While intense internal work is foundational, it's non-negotiable. Our deepest growth, our most profound impact, our most enduring fulfillment, they are profoundly amplified through genuine connection, shared purpose, and robust collective support. The absence of this can leave us feeling isolated, adrift, without a greater purpose beyond our own immediate individual needs.
Yeah, there's this prevailing sense of hyper-individualism in modern society, isn't there? An almost celebrated idea that we must do it all alone, that self-sufficiency is the ultimate goal. But our sources point to the critical inherent human need for deep connection and collective support, suggesting that the human spirit fundamentally craves belonging and a shared sense of purpose. We're wired for it.
Consider this. One source observes that losing religious faith, for example, can often feel like suddenly putting on a backpack full of weights. This highlights the inherent human need for purpose and community that was often previously fulfilled by religious institutions or traditional structures. Ultimately, people don't want to live longer. They want more memories. That's a powerful quote. And crucially, memories are most often created not in isolation, not through solitary achievements, but through doing novel, interesting things, and most importantly, deeply connecting with others, whether through meaningful conversations, shared experiences, or being an active, engaged part of a thriving community. These profound social bonds provide a sense of rootedness, meaning collective strength that individual achievement alone often cannot provide. We are fundamentally social creatures. Our well-being is deeply intertwined with our connections.
And building on that, the profound importance of someone truly believing in you. It just cannot be overstated. It's often that single spark from someone else that can ignite a lifelong journey of transformation and self-discovery.
Indeed. Think back to your own life, or to the stories of truly successful individuals. Almost invariably, they can point to a coach or a teacher who took us under their wing and saw something that we didn't see within ourselves. That pivotal figure can recognize one's latent spark, one's undeveloped potential, and provide the encouragement, the belief that allows it to flourish. This links back powerfully to overcoming the crisis of agency we discussed, particularly for young men, who desperately need supportive environments to demonstrate excellence, to learn, to connect, forming robust support networks. This isn't just about professional mentorship either. Even in romantic relationships, truly aligned couples raise each other, acting as guardrails for behavior, inspiring higher ambition, fostering mutual emotional growth. Genuine connection, therefore, isn't just about comfort. It's about mutual elevation and accountability. It makes us better.
This shared responsibility, particularly emphasized for men in some of our sources, it leads to a powerful and, I think, essential definition of masculinity, not just providing financially, but fundamentally protecting.
That's a crucial distinction that seems to have been lost in much of modern discourse. Men, in particular, need to be retaught maybe a default operating system of protection. This isn't about aggression. Not at all. It's about a deep, ingrained sense of responsibility. For anyone smaller, more vulnerable, or in a special interest group, this is the very essence of historical masculine roles like soldiers, police, firefighters' roles rooted in guardianship, creating safety. This involves concrete, daily actions, like instinctively speaking well of people behind their backs, advocating for the voiceless, actively defending others from harm or demonization, rather than participating in gossip or tearing others down. It's about ensuring that women, for instance, universally feel safe and respected around men, not inclined to cross the street when they see a group approaching. It's a foundational ethical stance that fosters trust, stability, genuine community cohesion, a masculine strength that builds, not destroys.
And the journey itself, right? The journey of self-improvement, of leadership, whether personal or professional, it's never truly over. It's a continuous, dynamic process of evolution and adaptation. like a living system constantly refining itself.
That's a profound truth that can liberate us from the pressure of arriving. Jimmy Carr's reflection on continually refining his comedy shows, it illustrates that even at the peak of your profession, even after decades of success, there's always progress to be made, not just perfection to maintain. It's about deeply enjoying the process itself and being the person that put that together, rather than only focusing on the final outcome. As the saying goes, the weight doesn't get lighter, your back gets stronger. Adversity, whether it's personal setback or professional challenge like being canceled in the public sphere, becomes a powerful filter. It reveals your true friends, clarifies your values, strengthens your character in ways comfort never could. Failure, far from being an endpoint, is actually a great gift, teaching profound resilience, humility, effectively checking ego, the no man's land of leaving comfort for growth, that uncomfortable phase, while difficult and sometimes appearing foolish to others, ultimately leads to significant and enduring transformation. It's the messy middle where true growth really occurs.
So this constant iteration, this improvement, whether in your personal life, your professional endeavors, your impact on the world, is absolutely key to staying ahead, remaining relevant, and fundamentally staying unshakable in a rapidly changing world. It's about building a sustainable system for living, not just reacting to events day by day.
Right. The idea that you are becoming everything I was created to be is not a distant, passive dream. It's a daily, active decision. It lives not in grand proclamations, but in your consistent habits, your conscious thoughts, the boundaries you uphold, the standards you set for yourself. Even if the world doesn't yet recognize your progress, even if external validation is slow to arrive, the core call is to keep rising, keep building your internal and external systems, and keep moving forward through fear and uncertainty. This ties directly into creating a personal system of life rather than simply reacting to external pressure. This system includes daily rituals, recognizing your natural energy rhythms, strategically setting up your environment for success, regularly evaluating your progress, adjusting course. And when you integrate a profound purpose, like making read Allah, God's pleasure, your ultimate standard, it transforms daily routines into deeply purposeful, even sacred acts, creating a profound balance between worldly productivity and spiritual well-being that makes you truly, universally unshakable, regardless of external circumstances. This proactive internal focus is the ultimate form of winning in life. It really is. Hashtag outro.
Wow. What an incredible deep dive into what it truly means to be unshakable. Especially in a world that often feels, beyond our grasp. We've journeyed through the liberating realization that your most profound power comes from within. Discovered how critical clear boundaries are to your peace, your personal agency, and understood how finding your intrinsic purpose can transform even the most daunting challenges into profound growth opportunities.
We really navigated the complexities of modern challenges, didn't we? Particularly for young men facing issues of agency and connection, and underscored the critical role of self-awareness, the courage to ask for what you need, and the absolute necessity of fostering genuine, supportive connections. Teamwork. Ultimately, the consistent message from all these diverse sources is about shifting from blaming external forces or waiting for perfect conditions to cultivating internal mastery and strategic, proactive engagement with the world around you. It's about choosing to win in your life, even if that means charting an entirely new course, maybe even in a new place, taking control.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? Perhaps the most provocative thought to leave you with is this. If our greatest enemy truly is our own self-limitation, our internal narratives, our fears, our reluctance to act, our tendency to blame others or the system for our circumstances, and if external circumstances are largely outside our direct control, then the most powerful revolution you can possibly lead begins not out there in the streets, but profoundly within your own mind and heart. What one internal shift, however small it might seem, will you commit to, starting now, to become more unshakable? Knowing that even the smallest inner step can create a ripple effect, potentially impacting millions, and empowering you to become a leader, no matter your current role, in building a more resilient, purposeful, and connected world.